If you want to be more efficient and effective while running your business with more inner peace, then working on the core of your issues instead of putting on a band-aid is vital. Welcome to the Business Brain Podcast.
I'm your host, Esty Rapport, and here to help you improve your 28 cognitive functions, the 28 things that make up thinking. In each episode, we'll discuss a real-life challenge, why you might be struggling with it, and give you practical strategies so all areas of your life will improve. William owned a roofing company for 12 years. He loved his team, he loved his clients, and he loved serving his community. Yet there were some tasks that William could not get himself to do. Any boring admin tasks would get procrastinated on for weeks or even months at a time. This meant important documents were missed, bills were unpaid, and over the years, it cost him hundreds of thousands of dollars. By building one thinking skill, boring tasks were no longer an issue. If you're experiencing something similar, I'm here to tell you, you do not have to struggle forever. In this episode 498 of the Business Brain Podcast, I'm going to share with you the exact steps of what you can do to have your own transformation. But first, which one of your thinking skills is the strongest? Which one needs some help? Find out by taking the thinking skill assessment at lifepeaksuniversity.com/CF. While you are doing any task, you, without even realizing it, are using your 28 thinking skills. When the thinking skills you need to use are strong, doing the task happens easily. The thinking skills you need to use is weak, doing the task will be a challenge. The struggle that William had came from a weak thinking skill of perseverance. Believe it or not, perseverance is one of the 28 thinking skills. The opposite of perseverance is blocking. That's when you feel like there's a wall in your brain and you simply can't go through. Since perseverance is a skill, then by definition, it means you can learn it. And I know you've persevered in your life. So can we stop for a moment and have you think about a time that you persevered? Come on, I'm waiting. Thought of one? Good. So now you know you have it in you. But I already hear you saying, yes, but when it's boring, I just can't get myself to do the work. Let me let you in on a secret. Doing the boring work is a skill in itself. Yup, getting yourself to do the boring work is a skill. And if you don't master it now, it's going to creep up in your life in some other way. You may as well learn to master the skill of doing boring tasks now. Here are 5 ways we helped William improve his perseverance and master the skill of doing boring work. Number 1, developing a growth mindset. A growth mindset is about always learning, growing, and using mistakes as feedback. Part of a growth mindset is focusing on the process, not just the outcome. By using the process as a learning opportunity, all of a sudden it suddenly becomes more interesting and you're able to push yourself to grow. The work works on you, including the skill of doing the boring work. We spoke about growth mindset in length in episode 469. So go check it out to get more practical ways to improve your growth mindset. Number 2, second way we've helped William improve his skill of perseverance was putting on a timer for 10 minutes and doing the work. Often, the hardest part of doing a task is getting started. Putting on a timer for 10 minutes and do as much of the work as you can. When the timer rings, you decide whether you've got the stamina to continue or you simply stop. Many times you find yourself already in the rhythm and able to continue working. Note, this is a short-term strategy and doesn't solve the problem long-term, but it will help you be able to get through the task right now. Number 3, the third way William built his skill of perseverance, making it fun. Once again, this is a short-term strategy with the goal simply of getting the work done right now. Can you put on music, work in a cafe, work with another person, body doubling? This is great because instead of your brain finding excuses of why you can't do it, your brain looks for ways why you can do it and you continue to persevere. So in certain ways, instead of your brain going down the rabbit hole of, no, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can do this, it's going down the rabbit hole of, yes, I can, yes, I can, yes, I can. So it does build perseverance also in a slightly deeper way. Number 4, give yourself mini rewards. This is my absolute favorite way to develop the skill of doing boring work because you create the space to give yourself dopamine over and over again. Instead of celebrating that you finish the whole, look for many places of completion and celebrate each and every one of them. For example, when I do long runs, I could be running for 3 hours and get bored very quickly. Instead of focusing on the fact that I've got to run for 3 hours, I break it up. Every time I run a mile, I celebrate. Or every time I run a lap, I celebrate. This way, instead of waiting 3 hours to get a bit of dopamine, I can get it every 10 minutes. With William, one of the things he found really boring was filling out long forms. So instead of waiting to celebrate, Once he finished out the whole form, he'd celebrate once he finished out a section. And often there were 2 or 3 sections on a page, giving himself time to celebrate even before he got to page 2. Celebrations don't need to be anything big. It can be something as simple as yay, I did it, or clapping on your back. Whatever works for you. Some people like to give themselves a small candy. Think of Mike and Ike after every section. Doesn't really make a difference what it is. The point is you take that moment to celebrate and send some sort of dopamine to your brain. Now, number 5. This is one that gets a lot of pushback, so listen to it with an open mind. You may just be surprised. Boring is often a sign of a weak thinking skill. Yes, you heard that right. Boring is often a sign of a weak thinking skill. It's not that you can do it. It's just that it's that bit harder compared to other tasks, and your brain translates it as boring. So you want to ask yourself, what part of this task does my brain not like? And when you get to the core reason, you solve that issue, because often there's a mini micro part of this task that your brain doesn't like, and you end up procrastinating on the whole thing. By understanding which part is the boring part, or really which part is more challenge for your brain, you can solve that issue. So doing it will be a whole lot easier. Doing boring work is a skill within of itself. It requires you to use a skill of perseverance to really push through. Your challenge this week is to pick one of the 5 ways we spoke about to improve your perseverance. Number 1, develop a growth mindset. Number 2, put on a timer and do the work for 10 minutes. Number 3, make it fun. Number 4, my favorite, celebrate the mini wins along the way. And number 5, see if there's a weak thinking skill causing this task to be boring. Have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Bye for now.
That's all for this episode of the Business Brain Podcast. If you enjoyed it, please share it with 2 of your business friends so they too can gain from it, and you'll be helping us reach our goal of 1 million downloads by the end of 2025. Cheers to peak brain performance.